Hi, Drone. I remember when I learned what a drone was. What else do I remember? I remember the first time I came to the Lower East Side. What do you remember? Thanks, Drone.
Well, I remember coming down to this area of Manhattan along the river and watching my son skateboard in the skate park a bunch of years ago. That's what I remember.
I remember the first time I sort of realized that I was becoming older, and therefore I would remember things, like I would experience nostalgia.
Hi, MNEMODRONE. I have a very secret, private memory to share with you. If you could give me a call back at 626 when you get a chance, I would love to share it with you. Thank you. Bye.
Whoa, cool.
You like it?
How high does it fly? How high? Bye. What's the camera for?
This is his eye. He's looking at you now. He's saying hi.
Hi.
There's a couple sitting in this very park, and they're just hanging out, and they decide to go into the bushes to fuck each other. And not just fuck each other, but, you know, that 69 shit and all that motherfucking shit. So then, she gets down on her knees and sucks the dick. And then he comes. And then he runs away and never comes back.
I have a memory to share about the last time I saw one of my friends. I didn't know it was the last time I would see them at the time. Heading up the Kelvin Grove bus stop. And I gave my friend a hug to say goodbye. And then something inside me compelled me to give her a second hug. And I gave her a really big squeeze and got on the bus and waved to her until I couldn't see her anymore. And that was June the 3rd.
One memory I had was yesterday when I was at my boyfriend's football game and he got really hurt and I lost my wallet, which had $100 in it. But now today we're in New York City and I have no money, but people are paying for me and we're meeting famous celebrities and taking pictures with really sexy models. And there's many things you can do in New York City, many things we will see in New York City. But mainly, the main thing we'll be doing in New York City is fucking her right in the pussy. And that's good, yeah.
Okay, so I remember one time I was at this music festival with a girl who would later on become my girlfriend, and she's great and awesome. And anyway, I was a sort of silly young kid at that point, didn't know what I was doing. I liked her a lot, but I wasn't, like, going for it the way I should. And we were sitting on this lawn, and I remember this ant started crawling on me, and I flicked it away. And then there was another ant, and I flicked it away. And, like, suddenly I had, like, 5,000 ants crawling all over me, and it was the worst thing in the world. But I tried to play it off cool, and I told her that my superpower was being always covered in ants. And I think to this day she kind of still believes it.
I remember when I met Emilio. It was 5 years ago, and we were in Bologna in a photography class, and I was sitting next to him. He asked me for a pen, and I gave him one of my pens, and he asked me where I was from because it had an American museum name on it,
and then it was all over from there. So that's my memory.
Wow, it's pretty crazy, huh? That's neat. Yeah. We'll log on and we'll say something to them.
Yeah, please do that, pass along.
Yeah.
It's completely based on that, and without interactions, it's just
audience participation.
I remember my memory when my dad told me that the story that I was when I was born in Brazil, and it was in Rio, so I got so much, I got my neck turned in my mom's body, and the doctor helped me get out. That's what I remember. That's the story when I was born. That's my memory.
My favorite memory is when I came here with my boyfriend and we had a deep conversation and I was able to find out more about him and get to know him super thin.
Well, there's this one time I was hanging out with my boyfriend in my living room of my apartment, and we were just kind of goofing around, playing around, cooking some dinner, and I decided that I was strong enough to let him jump into my arms and I would catch him. And it didn't really work out, and I dropped him right onto his butt, and he pulled me down with me, and all of a sudden he ran into the bathroom, and he almost pooped himself because he hit the ground so hard. And my roommate saw, and they thought he was really hurt, but he just really had to poop.
My memory is of this time, October, about 4 years ago, when my grandfather was in the hospital and my grandmother at the time had a panic attack and had to go to the hospital herself because I think she foresaw that her husband was dying. And one night he did die. We woke up in the morning and the doctors had called that night and told us that we did die. So my whole family had to go to the other hospital where my grandmother was and tell her that he had died. And he was her husband for about 64 years. And I just remember looking at her face when my father finally said, "John died last night." And she just closed her eyes and looked up at the ceiling and let it sink in. And I'll never forget the heaviness that fell on her face when she heard that news. And that is one of the most powerful memories I think I've ever had.
Okay, so the first time I felt that I truly loved my boyfriend was when we were at a cinema and he pointed at the cartoon Brave and told me that he wanted to watch it.